choose to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
This is Colm McGuigan for IFL TV. Delighted to be joined by Sonny, Showtime Edwards. Sonny, you finally are here. It's going to happen. How delighted are you that this is finally going to happen?
Yeah, man, we're here now. I'm buzzing. I can't lie. You know, I finally got to meet face to face, look the man in the eyes, and yeah, I'm confident, relaxed.
When you looked in his eyes there, what did you see?
No, he was quite calm. He was quite cold, but at the same time, I see the little flicker in his eyes. See him look away first. It means nothing. We're far away from the fight at the moment, but yeah, he don't really want to be here. Do you know what I mean? This ain't really his thing. You know what I mean? And you can see that up on stage. Look quite uncomfortable, relaxed, but uncomfortable in my opinion. Didn't want to say too much. He only showed a bit of anything in his voice at the end when he said that belt's coming here now. Finally some belief in your voice. It's like, oh, he's here. Do you know what I mean? Just before we're wrapping up, but yeah, man, it's a great fight. It's hard to sell with someone that don't really say too much, don't really all go. But like I said, I'll say my piece. He is a good fighter. You know, props for taking the fight, and props for taking the fight he's taken previously. But I just think I'm that bit better and more mature and more composed. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Is it tough to get up for it right now because it's so far away? Like you've referred to it, or you've always wanted this fight. These are the big fights that you feel that you can get up for, but is it a little bit tougher because it's so far away?
Nah, man, if it was up to me, we'd be turning around and spinning those chairs out and having it now. I'm always ready to go. I'm just fresh off a little 2-week camp, sparring. You know what I mean? It's like fresh out the donut box. You know what I mean? It's usually me, the fat and out of shape one.
Whenever I listen to you break down fights, I'll say this, and I've said it before in IFL, you're one of the best at breaking down a fight. Break down this fight for me and how it goes between you and Bam.
Get your tongue out of my arsehole, Gary.
No, I'm being honest.
I'm joking. It's a very good fight. It depends what he brings. I think everyone knows how I approach a fight. I'm reactive. I like to counter. I like to make them make a mistake. And I like to make sure I win. The mission is the same. Obviously, I'm away. You know, people keep telling me, oh, don't leave it close, judges, etc. I don't buy into all of that. You know what I mean? I just want a fair fight. Every opportunity, and I think I'll come out the winner. Like, definitely, I feel like, I don't know what to say. It's a fight. It's my bread and butter. I turn up to these all the time whenever I needed. I'm excited now. I'll be excited in 13 weeks. I'll probably be excited every day in between. Like, these sort of events, these sort of profile, these sort of build-ups is what I'm in the game for. And I feel like walking through this door, beating Bam, unified, yeah, maybe top 15 pound, etc., whatever you want to start accolading, but it puts me right up there with some of the best fighters in the world, where I belong, I think. And, you know, it's only by beating one of the best fighters in the world that you can stake claim for that. And I think, you know, Bam's proved himself so far, but yeah.
He's the toughest test of your career to date.
Maybe.
And whenever you said on stage there that you feel that he might have struggled with some of your opponents, who were you referring to?
I think Moruti, I think Alvarado, I think they're both fights that they wouldn't quickly and confidently have ever taken. I think Moruti was one of the most avoided, 13 years, number one, 13 years unbeaten, 2 times world champion, beat Tete, beat Casemiro, knocked him out back to back. Like all the other Japanese fighters, he was a monster. He would grind you down, he would see what you're made of. And even when I boxed him, that was the hardest boxing ring I've been in before or since. So, yeah, them. I'll be perfectly wrong. I think there's a reason why there's certain fighters on my record that you won't see anyone go near. You know what I mean? Like the Alvarados, etc. Like no one goes near any of them fights. The tough fights, the hard fights. They just try and pick like the easier ones for a relative opponent. Obviously not Bam I'm talking about right now, but yeah, I think I've been in with some real hard fighters that just because they haven't been promoted in the same way or got the limelight in the same way doesn't make them less of a fighter. And I think, you know, you look at what Moruti done, and even what Alvarado done, like, knocking out people for years and years and years and years, coming up against me and getting stood on the head, and people think, oh, they can't even box. Like, I know these fighters would give fighters like Bam and other ones. That's why them fights never happen. You know.
Do you feel that the negotiations on your part, you said that you just put your hands up, said whatever it is, here's the numbers, make it happen. Do you believe that's because you're avoided, that is your mindset?
Yeah, and like financial gain isn't the only thing I'm in boxing for. Like, obviously, it's a business. I know my worth, but I won't lose a fight trying to, argue whether I'm worth an extra 100 grand or 50 grand or 20, whatever it is that people fall out of fights. We have the conversation. We have a sensible one. I never make the first offer. They offer it. I counter offer it. I usually get it. You know what I mean? And it's never a long negotiation. But like Bam was in the same line of fights as Martinez, Estrada, Quadra, all these fighters that he has outside of Chocolatito. As I'll fight any of these for this price, anywhere, doesn't matter when, like as soon as possible. I wouldn't have even fought Campos. I was meant to fight Bam for my last fight, but it didn't happen because he got injured, so I had to take a voluntary, which I didn't really want to take. You know what I mean?
You say you want Roman Gonzalez next. You also refer to, you don't think this is the first and last time you'll ever be together with Bam, different weights. Is there a rematch clause, and does that happen straight away after, or would it be the likes of maybe Roman Gonzalez next and then revisit a fight with Bam?
No rematch clause. No rematch clause either side. I wasn't going to ask for one unless they asked me for one, and then I wouldn't ask for one. Just, you know what I mean? If we're seeing each other twice, we're seeing each other twice, but they didn't ask for one. I didn't ask, insist, or want one. Two best fighters in the world. One gets 2 titles, one pushes on to the next fight. You have one comes back in a year or 2 years or something,
You really believe this could be one of the greatest matchups in the lower divisions? And looking back on it in years to come, you want people to remember Sonny Edwards, Bam Rodriguez?
Yeah, I think we'll fight three times. I think we'll fight at different weights at different times. And I think there'll be times we're both champion. I think there'll be a time one of us champion, maybe a time another one's champion, because I think we're that good of fighters. I think we're that standout at this weight. And that it really is the number 1 versus number 2. And how the Ring magazine isn't involved, I don't know. Personally.
Sonny Edwards, you're on the broadcast Saturday night, I've heard, so we'll catch up again this weekend. Really appreciate it, mate. Thank you.
Cheers for your time.
You to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,